Hi guys, Matt here from Trade On Sports, and I just want to show you something we've added to the tennis application. If we start from the home page, we can see a new button at the top, Betting Companion. We give that a click. Now, this will be added to in the future with various player stats and whatnot, but we've started off looking at the tournaments and the tour. So, if we have a look at next week, there's a couple of huge events in Canada. The old Premier Masters, they're now 1,000-point events. And if we click the View button under the ATP, it takes us to this screen where we break down historical data for this tournament and we compare it to the tour mean. Now, if we have a look, we can see that roughly everything on the men's side correlates with the tour mean. So there's no instant edges that are popping out until we get to the tie-break column where we see 4% above tour mean. Okay, so if we have a look at our other splits, we can see split by year, split by rounds and split by odds. So we know that there's an above average number of tie breaks played at this tournament, so we want to concentrate on that column first of all because that's what jumped out at us. And as we can see, over the years they've slowly increased. Is this a case of the court getting faster? Quite possibly. So, where do we want to start to look for bets next week regarding tie breaks in Montreal? Well, if we have a look at the split by rounds, we can see in the first round, 44% of matches end in a tie break or have a tie break within the duration of the match. And in round 2, that goes up to 50%. So the first 2 rounds in Montreal next week, we can look at backing over 0.5 tie breaks. Now, if we use this information alongside the daily sheet from Trade On Sports, we'll be able to isolate strong servers, weak servers. It all ties together, guys. Now, if we have a look at this one down here, split by odds, okay? Which are the most likely odds bands to feature a tie-break? Well, if we see the favourite a 175 to 199, that's way below mean. So we can avoid all of the matches when the favourite's priced within that band. The sweet spot seems to be 150 to 174. So there you go, guys. We've narrowed the field down nicely. And you will find some high-value bets. Okay. So if we go back to this screen and we can click on the Women's Tour over in Toronto and let's see what we have there. It looks a very good tournament for backing the underdog generally. Look at this. See, nicely green. Favourite. Oh, you'd be in the poorhouse. Okay. Everything else looks around mean. So we can see that we can instantly look at the underdog based on the first split that we have. Now, let's look at rounds. What round is profitable for the dog? And we can see the quarterfinal and the semi-final showing a nice profit over the years, blindly backing the underdog there. And going with what we said earlier on, that when the underdog does well, you generally see a high proportion of 3 sets. Let's have a look. 3 sets is above mean in the quarterfinals, but small sample size really, 8 matches for the semi, so we can really discount that. So, I mean, in the quarters, you're probably looking at backing over 2.5 sets and get with the dog. Let's have a look at tie breaks. 3% above mean, it's not really a great edge. I do like to look for 4 or 5%. But here, look at this in the third round. 32% of matches have a tie break. And that's way above tour mean. So once again, we found some possible bets when the third round comes around. Again, tally it up with the Trade On Sports daily tennis sheets to see who's the strong server, who's the weak server. And we can go looking for tie breaks over 0.5 tie breaks in round 3 in Toronto. Then if we have a look at the split by odds, we know that the dog does well generally at this tournament. So where's the sweet spots? Where can we attack the dogs? Well, we don't want to be taking on the shorties, really, because there's a loss showing there. In fact, any favourite from 101 to 149. I'd want some more evidence before I took that favourite on. But judging by the numbers, we can look at 150 to 199 favourites are extremely vulnerable in Toronto. So we can see how valuable this tool will be if we tally it up with all our other information. I hope you enjoy the new edition, guys. Until next time, it's Matt signing out.